All right, and here we go. A great Tuesday night affair. Hometown Crestwood taking on the visiting Kings Christian. I'm Max, and joined here first time of the season, Mr. Steve Bauer.
Hey, excited to be back. I feel like it's been a long drought since last season to now, so to be back for a game of the week is pretty exciting. Been watching from afar, and now to be down courtside, seeing the action go is going to be an exciting afternoon.
Get this one started quick, and here's Kings with the opening tip. Ennis controlling. Cook drives baseline, cut off there by Day Wilson. Going to step on the end line, so ball's going to go right over to Crestwood.
Yeah, not bad though, start I think for Kings. You like to see that you get some penetration going towards the basket, a kick out. I mean, you definitely don't want the step out of bounds, but you do like to see some things going forward for the offensive in your first possession.
Here comes Edwards off the screen. A little turnaround jumper over Ennis. Too strong. Jagaday brings it down for Kings.
Crestwood responds. I think it was a pretty good set themselves. Good touch to Edwards in the block. So, again, I think both teams with a nice first possession, even though they both come up with zeros to start.
Stupar up the top working on Drummond. Cut off there. Day Wilson with the help. Pass just through the hands of Farley. And here comes Crestwood in transition. Lattimore, long step into the basket. Going to pick up the foul there on Jagaday. She'll head to the line for two.
I'm not sure if Lattimore got a hand on that first pass, but she certainly did a great job changing the passing window. Stupar came in there. Lattimore's hand was up and looked about eyesight, so Stupar had changed where she's trying to throw it. A teammate then gets a hand on it, and Lattimore's the beneficiary on the other end. But I think she was the big difference maker defensively to start that breakout.
Over two from the line. Edwards with the follow, though, and she's able to finish with the putback.
And Lattimore does for the season. I mean, tremendous offensive player, gets herself to the free throw line. One thing they would love to see at Crestwood is her be a little more consistent at the free throw stripe. So to have the two start early be a really good challenge for her. I mean, she's proven that she can hit them, but they'd like to see her do it after she had a slow start.
Woo. Well, up fake by Jagaday, gets herself in the lane. Her floater just no good, and here comes Crestwood again. Woo! Cook jumps that pass over to Bailey. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Kings, remaining here with Crestwood 18 now on the shot clock.
We had a pretty good view of that one, Max. And I think Wilson had a real nice shot there, but Lattimore, I think, actually blocked the defender for her. So she was running the lane. She couldn't see Cook, threw it behind her, and then Cook jumped the lane. So maybe her own teammate running in the vision she was looking past.
Good move by Edwards. Gets a spin there on Jagaday, and she's able to finish for two more.
And Edwards with two easy buckets in around the basket. They had the other touch the first possession, so she's got three nice touches inside the paint, which is a great way to get her started in a rhythm.
Good defense here by Crestwood. Denial up top. We're down to 7 on the shot clock. Jagaday from the left wing, a long two. It's no good. Fight for the rebound now. There's Cook. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Cook. It's going to go back over to Crestwood.
And I think Crestwood's defense has been adjusting a little quicker than Kings, so we'll see if Kings run something different on offense. And what I mean by that is the first two possessions, they had stuff going to the basket. The last two now have gotten further out on the perimeter, so we'll see if Kings can run something different to get back to the interior.
Edwards will stumble with the feet. Able to control it, though, over to Drummond. Now find Lattimore right in front of the basket. Her left hand is no good. Good defense by Farley, and here comes Kings.
Great seal though by Lattimore and a great entry by Drummond. So they get another really good possession despite the 0 points on that trip.
Farley cut to the basket. Her hook shot no good. It's going to go off Lattimore and out of bounds. So it's going to remain here. Kings 14 now on the shot clock.
Unlucky Lattimore. She's there. She's almost jumped a little too early for that one, but she's up on top of that rebound and kind of hits her, falls out of bounds. But right spot. Couldn't quite corral. Nice to see Kings get something back inside too. So let's see what they adjust here. This back-to-back possession. They get something else going into the interior.
Going to get a moving screen there called on Stupar, so it's going to be her first foul. Ball back over to Crestwood.
Crestwood's done a nice job here early, getting Edwards a couple touches, and they go right back to the flex kind of cut along the baseline.
Unable to hit that layup, and here comes Ennis pushing for Kings. Lead pass for Farley, just out of the reach. It's going to go out of bounds and back over to Crestwood.
And you can see the respect in both Drummond and Lattimore draw from King stepping up to the elbows, and right now all they have is Edwards stepping in from the corner to the block, and they're able to get her a touch. So this will force the hand of Kings if they do something differently, or they're to live with Edwards continuously getting touches in the block.
Dave Wilson will step back 3 from the top of the key. That one's going to be short. Her first attempt of the day.
Don't mind that one, though. I think you've done a real nice job establishing Edwards here early. Make sure you get Wilson touch as well. Get her something in a bit of a rhythm. I think she gets a good, clean look at it. They have the Lattimore coming off the back screen, too. So I think just ensuring they have all their weapons firing. Don't mind the look.
Good denial there by Bailey on Cook. And it stops the dribble, tries to find Stupar here on this wing. It's going to go out of bounds. Crestwood ball. And with that, we're going to get a sub as Reed here checks in for Drummond for Crestwood. The horn set here for Crestwood. Lattimore dives the key. Day Wilson, little floater action over Stupar, no good. Kings fights for the rebound. It's going to be tipped off. Stupar and out of bounds. Going to remain here with Crestwood.
Oh, Lattimore does a great job on that. I thought up top that they run the horns action as Day Wilson comes off. The Ennis goes underneath. Lattimore just rolls on top of that, take her out of the play and force the switch. So I thought great awareness by the forward there and how the defense is playing the ball screen.
Little zone look here by Kings on the baseline. Let's see how Crestwood responds. Swing around up top. They get Edwards another touch on the block. Good defense there by Stupar. Blocks the first. The follow's no good. Ennis comes down with the final rebound.
And for the amount of touches that Crestwood's had for Edwards in the blocks, they're probably a little disappointed to only have 4 points at this stage.
Great up fake again by Jegede. Gets in the lane. She's going to get that one blocked by Lattimore. A little frustration here for Kings, and Dave Wilson comes right back the other way. No good, but Lattimore with the follow.
Yeah, great block down at this end. I think Lattimore's been the recipient twice of her great defensive plays. We talked about the one early challenging the pass. Now this one as well makes a real nice block in space, and then again on the offensive end gets to reap those rewards.
Good crossover by Cook, gets in the lane, kicks out. A good look for Stupar, a long two, and it's good. Kings' first points of the game.
Real nice job there by Cook. She gets it right into the heart of the defense. There's no choice but for Crestwood to have 2 defenders kind of collapse to stop that drive. Finds back behind to the hardest place to help.
Right back the other way, another touch for Edwards right on the block, and she spins for the layup. She's up to 6 on the game. Crestwood leads this one 8-2, 5.5 to go.
You got to think, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean, they quickly jumped this thing to 8, but if you can continue to get Edwards touching the block, and she's getting the touches that she's getting right now, that's going to play to Crestwood's advantage over time. So Kings may have escaped the first few minutes, as we mentioned early on, of Edwards having 4 or 5 touches and only having 4 points, but if she continues to have those opportunities, I'm assuming Crestwood's going to take that trade. This will be in the first time out, Max. I'm assuming a great chance now for Kings to look at potentially switching what they're doing defensively. That doesn't necessarily mean changing the base of their defense, but if they are going to make an adjustment to what's happening with Edwards. And thus far, most of it's just been a straight cut getting in there in a one-on-one post. So they can now talk about action or some coverage they're going to have before she gets to that spot, if they're going to double underneath, she gets a touch in there, or just something to disrupt that flow and force it back to the outside for Crestwood. So we'll see what they come out with. On the other side, I'm assuming Crestwood's loving their defensive pressure and just going to keep things going.
Coming out of the timeout here for Kings, we have Jegede, Stupar, Ennis, and Hartman. Coming out for Crestwood, we have Day Burrell, Day Wilson, Reed, Edwards, and Lattimore. Kings now with that 2 high horns look. Ennis drives the wing. Here comes Stupar off the cross. Stupar working against Lattimore, drives baseline. We're going to get a shot clock violation here on Kings ball. Back over to Crestwood.
Yeah, great job. I'm not sure Kings was aware of the shot clock. Didn't seem to be any communication on the floor between them. So what starts as a good possession, getting a drive baseline, ends without even getting a shot.
Crestwood passing it around. Good defense from the backside as Jegede comes and tips that one away. Trying to find Edwards again.
Kings did bring some more bodies that time. Edwards down low, only a 3 or 4 rounder before the catch could even happen.
Good defensive pressure here. Crestwood gets Kings all out of their offense. 9 on the shot clock now. They got to go. Jegede up top. Off the pass from Stupar. Gets in the lane. 2 defenders converge. They're going to draw the foul and head to the line. It's going to be Edwards picking up her first.
Great attack there by Jegede, I think, coming from the top. You run the late clock, as you mentioned. Your offense is getting to a stage where it's not clicking the way you want. Jegede just gets the ball, can put her head down, get into the middle of the paint, and that creates some opportunities. So this time a trip to the free throw line, settle themselves back down.
Unable to hit the first. On the made free throw, we're going to get Summerlee here checking in for Taya Stupar and Drummond back in the game here for Latimer. So a smaller Kings lineup here with Stupar on the bench. Looks like a 1-3-1 zone look. We'll see how Crestwood responds to the change in defense. Swinging around up top. Great job by Day Wilson. Finds Edwards right at the basket. 2 more points, Aaliyah Edwards.
Yeah, I think Kings want to get into a trap, and I think Day Wilson just made it look like it couldn't happen. And I mean, it's credit to a point guard. When you're trying to do a trapping defense and she can split it before you can get into the trap, it makes the defense scramble. And Day Wilson got the top, got inside the seam. She basically had 3 defenders chasing the action, 1 pass, and somebody has a layup.
Traveling violation there on Ennis, so it's going to go back over to Crestwood. Kings changes the defense back into the man-to-man. Edwards quick shot, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be Lee and Drummond tied up. Jump ball remaining here with Crestwood.
Crestwood continue to do a nice job. They're finding Edwards in some good spots and good shots. She gets another clean look at it. Drummond does a nice job chasing down the miss and earning an extra possession.
Try and get Drummond a touch on the inbound. It's going to be tipped away. Here comes Lee pushing for Kings. Hartman, good job by Lee. Gets the up fake, gets around her defender. Hartman now drives on Drummond. Her pass, it's going to be too high for Jegede. It's going to go back over to Crestwood.
Hartman had the right idea, and I think she saw the right person, which is Jegede, open that spot, but it looked like she had some indecision on which hand she was going to pass. Had in her right hand, last minute put it to her left, and I don't know if the ball ever quite got settled. Pass went flying a little high, and it's causing a bit of a problem here for Kings. They've gone a few possessions now without a shot, and I think when you're struggling to score, you can't trade possessions without at least getting an attempt.
Long 3 here, Day Wilson, her first basket of the game.
I love the way Day Wilson plays. I think she has a bit of a sense when teams are starting to reel, and she just goes for the kill shot. And right now, as we said, Kings can't seem to get any offense going. Day Wilson just piles another one on with a beautiful shot from 3.
Here's Lee on the wing. 7 on the shot clock here. Skumatova got to work. Jegede picks up the loose ball. Lee, a quick pull-up just inside the arc, and it's going to go.
They needed one of those. Kings needed that right now, I think, just to get some offensive flow going. They'll take it. Now see if they can build on that momentum.
Crestwood swinging around. Drummond asked for it in the post. They didn't see her. Here's Edwards now finds a cutting Drummond. Her hook shot off the bank, and it's good.
Nice job there. I think Crestwood continues to get Edwards great touches. This time on the touch, they find Drummond cutting out of that action, get her right the hoop.
Quick look there for Skumatova. It's no good from the corner. Edwards brings down, and here comes Crestwood. Drummond open on the doorstep. Found her late. She's able to corral it, though, and she puts in the layup.
Yeah, nice job. I think they were a little late getting it to her later than they would have liked, but she held position. Looked at the ball, might have got tipped, and she's able to get control before the shot goes up and finishes.
Skumatova, the up fake gets in the lane. Good read there by Reed, and she picks up the steal. Pushing ahead in transition. Great move to get around Jegede and finishes with the left hand.
Great finish. Nice job by Reed. I mean, as you said, first the anticipation on the weak side of where that pass was going to go. Gets the steal, goes coast to coast, and finishing that with her left back up over her head as she got in tight. Nice touch, nice finish, and really put some pressure on Kings. And this has been a bit of a story here in the first quarter. Crestwood, I think, has been good, but maybe not even their best. But King just hasn't been able to get themselves going offensively. And I think with only 5 points at this stage of the first quarter, you start to feel the pressure of Crestwood's offense chipping away at you.
Coming out of the timeout here for Kings, we have Kokic, Skumatova, Stupar, Gooden, and Lee. Coming out for Crestwood, we have Reed, Bailey, Day Wilson, Drummond, and Edwards. Lee uses the screen, gets in the lane. Good read, finds Skumatova open in the corner. That one's just too strong.
Great
good
shot.
look, though, for Kings.
Sorry, Max. Great possession, though. If you're Kings, you come out of that timeout, you get a drive, you get a kick, you get a wide-open look at it. Definitely a possession to build on.
Great up fake by Reed, gets in lane, finds an open Drummond on the corner. Her shot is short, Lee comes in with the rebound, and here comes Kings. Kokic, a quick three from the left wing, and it banks in!
Two good shots, though. They got themselves the last one, as you mentioned, a little drive and quick kick. This time they get out in transition. So good, 2 good clean looks, and I think if you're Kings, you got to like that in the last timeout. These games start to get a little bit mounted up as they did against the double digits in the first quarter. Sometimes you look at, like, do we do best, or do we try something to mix it up? And I think Kings has found a little bit of a rhythm here on offense.
Good job by Kings, able to get a hand on that entry pass into Edwards, pick up the steal here, see if they can get another basket going. A good look for Stupar. Good challenge, though, by Edwards at the end of the shot. Adjusted that shot a little bit, and here comes Crestwood in transition. Quickly ahead to Edwards. Her layup no good. The follow too strong. Tipped out of bounds. Is going to be called off of Kings. It's going to remain here with Crestwood.
I tell you, that's where Crestwood is so dangerous. I mean, you go from, as you mentioned at this end, Edwards does a nice job challenging that shot. I think potentially even fooled Stupar a little bit with how quickly she closed that gap. But from the moment that left the hand of Stupar, Day Wilson gets her hands on it, takes one dribble, fires ahead, gets it back to Edwards now. And the transition from challenging shot to at the basket must have taken 3-4 seconds max, and now you're getting a shot at the rim. So Crestwood quickly capitalizes on their opportunities and what their defense creates.
Here's Crestwood coming out of the timeout. A little confusion there by Kings. Looks like they fall back into a zone now as Crestwood swings around the outside. The three by Miller, too strong, and Gooden brings it down for Kings. Quick three by Kokic, too strong. Miller brings it down. Good challenge there by Lee. He's going to pick up the foul. It's going to be Kings' third foul of the game. Crestwood ball here, 51 seconds to go in the first.
Kings doing a nice job riding that momentum, though. They are finding some opportunities in transition. They had 1-3 already, get another good look at it again. So they have found some offensive opportunities that they didn't have early on. And I think this next 50 seconds or closure of this quarter, you want to continue to build on that. So you go into the first break talking about some things that you've built throughout the quarter as opposed to the challenges you had early on.
There's Miller up top, guarded by Kokit. Gooden comes with the challenge, gets it over to Reed. Good job by Gooden, gets her hand on it, but right in the hands of Miller. Unlucky bounce there, is unable to finish the layup. We're going to get a jump ball here. It's going to stay with Kings. 30 seconds to go in the first.
I thought Reed did a nice job down the wing, and I saw the pass back to Drummond. Would have loved to see her take that pull-up herself. Thought she had enough space, was probably within the 8 to 10 foot range. Could have maybe gone to the glass. I thought she was in a good shooting opportunity for herself, almost overpassed it.
Gooden comes off the Stupar screen. Good job by Reed. Trying to get Stupar a touch here on the block. Out of her reach, though. It's going to be a turnover there. She tried to find a cutting Gooden. It's going to go back over to Crestwood here. 13 seconds to go, and we're going to get Dave Wilson and Edwards both checking back into the game.
Yeah, a little bit of the ball pressure from Crestwood has had effects. I think throughout the quarter, there's probably been 3 or 4 possessions where they've forced a travel, forced an early pass, taken people out of position, and it just creates some opportunities for them on offense.
We get another touch for Edwards right on the block. She's going to draw the foul here. She'll head to the line for 2.
And not to be lost in that, I mean, clearly Edwards does a great job cutting on the corner, getting herself open, but also the passing that Crestwood's had from the high post and that can be a challenging spot to pass straight downhill. I mean, it's where you want the ball, but you need your passer to make good decisions and find a passing window. And clearly Crestwood's done a real nice job of that throughout the quarters. They've had 6 or 7 touches now for Edwards in that position.
Lattimore, quick trigger shot on that offensive rebound, no good. Just like that, we're going to have here the end of the first. Crestwood leads this one 20-8 over the visiting town Kings. Aaliyah Edwards, the leading scorer in this one with 9 first quarter points.
Yeah, and I think Crestwood did a real nice job coming out and establishing what they're trying to do offensively right from the hop. So from the opening jump, the very first possession, right to the end of the quarter, which we saw in this last one, they came out and they got Edwards touches in the area where she's most effective, in the block, in the key, back to the basket. That being said, as we mentioned in the middle there, they also did a nice job of ensuring they didn't get singular focus, and it wasn't only Edwards who was a part of it. Dave Wilson had a couple nice ones from the top. Lattimore had some in transition. Reed got some in transition. So you've had a few people now starting to fire. And really the Crestwood offense is at 20, but I don't even know if it was their most effective, but I thought was getting really good shots. And I think Kings has a bit of the opposite scenario going on. It took them a bit of most of the first half of that quarter just to find some rhythm on offense. Now, in the tail part of it, they did have some good looks come more from transition than in the half court, but they're going to find some more opportunities here, and they have to find a way to slow down those Edwards touches if they're going to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, the length of Crestwood with Edwards, Drummond, and Lattimore all up front really causing Kings some problems as they've looked to get inside action, but have really bottled them up in there. And then the Edwards on the block against Kings 3, their wings, their guards, has had a big size mismatch, so it's going to be interesting to see how Kings changes it up here going into the second quarter.
Yeah, one of the matchups that looked pretty good early for Kings was they got the ball to Cook in a couple of times on the perimeter, and she could get in on some penetration to create. So we didn't see many chances for her as the quarter went on, and I don't know if that was more credit to Crestwood taking that away or Kings not able to find Cook, but it'd be nice to see Kings get her involved again offensively and see if she can create shots for her teammates.
And I will say the emergence of Summer Lee on the Kings squad has paid big dividends for Kings. A grade 9 player coming in, bringing energy early. She did a few mistakes there at the end of that first quarter, but it seemed that when she got in the game, they were pushing the ball more in transition, some better looks in the half court. So we'll see if they still work through her and her matchup going on. Drummond's 3 from the corner is no good. Edwards with the follow plus the foul, and it's going to be good.
I don't know if Edwards, I don't know how else you can shape that, but just tremendous hands. I mean, clearly she had reached almost around the defender to get a tip on that, tips it back to herself, and I think is almost out of balance because of the radius she covers there with her right hand into the ball, back to her left hand to then finish it while going to the ground. So the contact was probably minimal, but the athleticism to both corral and touch to get that up to the glass was pretty impressive there from Edwards.
Only 2 for Crestwood as we miss from the line. They get a good look here for Lee from the left wing. Her 3 is too strong. Lattimore brings down the rebound. She's pushing for Crestwood. Good job by Ennis there to stop Dave Wilson's break. She's able to get it over to Miller, though. Great pass to find a cutting Drummond, and she's going to be fouled.
I think full credit. I get why if you're Crestwood, any chance you can get the ball to Dave Wilson, you want to do that. In the very rare situation right now, I thought Dave Wilson had to make a really great play just to keep from being in a bad situation. Lattimore gave her that ball right in the sideline with the defender in front of her. And I think it's just like a testament to her body control to kind of catch that, the feel of where the defender is, and took a dribble just to get it back to set. Gets the ball back to the middle of the floor. And I think it was a very subtle thing, but a real key piece in transition there for Crestwood. And Dave Wilson, I think, is just on another level for feel at the point guard position here in the OSBA.
Another level. Dave Wilson, a deep three here on cue, just off. Drummond, though, with the follow, and she's going to put that back up. She'll get fouled. 2 more free throw attempts for Crestwood.
And sometimes in the Crestwood shuffle, we don't end up talking about Drummond enough, but she's made her mark here today. You see she's earned some extra possessions. We've seen her on the glass, a couple nice passes as well, and just been the recipient of being in the right place when other people draw attention. So I think Drummond's got a nice feel off the ball, how to find herself opportunities. This offensive rebound being another one of those chances.
Unable to hit the second. So a great effort here by Crestwood, especially on the offensive end, but one of the areas that's let them down so far is their free throw shooting, only 2 for 9 so far in the game. So let's clean that up, ladies. Edwards pressuring Stupar here up top. Jagade cut off by Miller, down to 8 on the shot clock, going to be tipped out of bounds off Miller. It's going to remain here, King's ball.
And with a low shot clock here, you get to find somebody quick that you think can create an advantage.
They inbound it to Farley, guarded here by Lattimore, down to 5. Gotta go, they get a screen for Jagade. Miller guarding, up fake, gets in the lane, kick out, Cook. Just short. Farley comes flying in for the rebound, but it's corralled by Lattimore.
You get a good shot.
Back the other way. Miller in transition, and she buries the 3.
I love that shot in transition. You get somebody that open, which usually only happens transition. You come down, you get them in rhythm, let her fly.
Kings using that horn set again. They get Stupar a touch. Here comes Cook off the screen. She gets a touch on the block, turns to her right and finishes.
Yeah, similar type action there. Theirs actually has a screen to bring the flex across, but they get someone coming from the corner to the middle of the floor, and they also do a nice job getting the ball inside to Cook.
Step back here by Dave Wilson. A deep 3, no good. Stupar brings that down. Here comes Ennis looking in transition. Cook just inside the arc, this time a long 2, no good. Stupar, though, with the follow. Her reverse is just off. Again, the fight for the rebound's going to be tipped, and Akabasu's going to bring that down for Crestwood.
Nice job by Stupar, but you got to think the Lattimore-Edwards defense or presence around her must have impacted that shot, or had to have impacted at least a little.
Ooh. Well, miscommunication there by Crestwood. It's going to go out of bounds, back over to Kings. We're going to get subs both sides here as Bailey and Hartman both check back into the game. It's going to be Kings ball here. 7:37 to go in the second quarter.
As we know, Crestwood are defending champs and how they've been in the OSBA. This is, I think, a critical time here for Kings. 16 is already a pretty big deficit against a group like this, but you can't let this thing balloon too much more. They got to find a way to stay in this going into halftime.
Dave Wilson picks up the pass, goes right to the basket, and finishes the trick layup. 2 more. Cheyenne Dave Wilson. King swings it around up top. 7 on the shot clock again for Kings. Ennis on the left wing. Gotta go. Good job by Edwards. Gets a hand on the pass. Dave Wilson kicks ahead. And Edwards is able to finish the transition layup.
Edwards does a nice job there. Late clock ball screen. Ennis tries to come off. Edwards just jumps out, takes away all the passing angle. Ennis had picked the ball up because she had to get the ball moving so quickly with the clock low. They get a tip. Dave Wilson picks it up. Ends up being quick 2 points.
Jagaday does a good job getting in the lane, though, but good job by Bailey to cut her off. Going to force the travel there. It's going to go back over to Crestwood, and Stupar is going to check back into the game here for Kings. Edwards guarded by Jagaday. They pass out. Good fake by Bailey. Gets herself right in the lane. No good. Edwards with the follow.
That was a tremendous fake. Bailey had not just one defender clear, but I think 3 of them on this side of the floor all cleared out. Helps like was gone. Clears herself a clear path.
Quick 3 from the corner for Ennis. Just rattles out. It's no good. It's going to be tipped off Jagaday and out of bounds. Back to Crestwood.
Yeah, I can see Dave Wilson looked at the bench there too. I think I had the same feel. She just could have got her hands on that and just looking up because this is about to turn to 2 points at the other end of the floor. But I think Coach was telling her just to corral that thing first, then take the dribble and get that ball going. She's pretty deadly, gets her own defensive rebound.
Agabasso here, pressure by Stupar up top. Day Wilson now working. Little step back 3 at the top. No good. Ennis brings it down. Here comes Kings pushing. Ennis finds Skumatova open on the left corner. It's short.
Nice pass there by Ennis in transition, though. Draws the 2 defenders to the middle, creates a shot out in the wing.
Crestwood works around, finds Reed open for 3. Too strong. Edwards, though, flies in for the rebound, saves it. Akabasu now for 3, just off.
Edwards, again, a tremendous job on the glass. She has great hands, great athleticism, and just like a great motor to chase down rebounds.
And this pass just slips through the hands of Cook. It's going to go out of bounds back over to Crestwood here. 5:14 to go in the second.
And clearly offense has been the challenge for Kings. They've got to find something to get a little bit of a rhythm going into halftime. And it was a similar story for us at the end of the first quarter, trying to find a way to get some offense generated. But this thing's starting to slip away for Kings. And if they want to stay in, they're going to have to get some points on the board before the halfway point.
Pull up is no good. Here comes Kings with the ball. Skumatova in the lane gets a spin on number 3. Gooden now the right corner jumper, and it's good.
That's a good one for Kings. 2 penetrations, 1 kick out.
Dave Burrell now in the lane. They swing around Lattimore in the corner. Woo! Great passing by Crestwood. Gets an open look from the right corner. It's too strong. Flying in for the rebound, and we're going to get a foul there on Crestwood. Skumatova now in the corner. 2 on the shot clock. Got to go. Hartman challenge there. Followed by Stupar. Great hands, able to get to it. It's no good. Here comes Crestwood.
I think Lattimore's got 1 step ahead of herself there, starting to look at the basket and where she was going to attack and maybe trying to find some teammates. But the looking ahead never quite caught the basketball and was going without it.
Here's Gooden in the corner. They're trying to get Stupar some touchdown low. Goes through her hands. Here comes Crestwood now pushing. Edwards slings it up to Reed for 3. It's too strong. Gooden does a good job tracking that ball down. Gets herself out of traffic, but short there on the pass to Hartman. Reed picks it off right over to Lattimore. Her attempt is going to be fouled by Stupar, her 3rd of the game, and Lattimore is going to go to the line for 2.
And Crestwood's done a real nice job the last 2 possessions. Kings has made a very conscious effort to get the ball inside to Stupar. The time before, Crestwood had two defenders in the area before she could even get a catch. And this last time down, Edwards was jumping high side to make the pass really tough, but the help side defender was there as well. So you can tell Crestwood wasn't giving her anything easy and is causing some frustration for Stupar as she heads to the bench.
Skumatova gets in lane. Good defense, though, by Edwards. Cut her off. It's going to go out of bounds off of Kings and back over to Crestwood.
You want to get into the heart of that Crestwood defense, any defense. You want to get in there so you can get them to collapse, kick it back out. But this is a tough team to score. I mean, when you have Lattimore and Edwards both kind of patrolling in there, it's not a lot of space to get shots off.
Good defense by Kings there, corralling Edwards. Once she gets a touch, we're down to 7 on the shot clock here for Crestwood. Day Wilson gets in lane, kicks out to Reed for 3. It's too strong. Lattimore, though, great body control and is able to finish.
Nice job. Lattimore just following that ball off the shot. I felt like she came from the front of the rim, chased it to the right side to get her hands on it. It's a well-earned offensive rebound.
Nice pass by Lee, finds a cutting Skumatova. Challenge there by Lattimore on the backside. And here comes Edwards pushing. Day Wilson will step back, this time deep. It's short. Edwards fighting for the rebound, going to draw the foul. It's going to remain Crestwood ball on the baseline.
And for all the things Crestwood does well, one of their, I think, best assets is how they go with the offensive glass. We saw the possession before, Lattimore tracking one. We've seen numerous times today Edwards tracking some outside of her area as well. 2 great athletes that have a great nose for the basketball and have a motor, so you combine those things together and you get a great offensive rebounding team.
Trying to get a touch for Edwards there on the out of bounds. Good job by Hartman, able to tip that one away. And here comes Lee, gets around Edwards in transition. Farley on the wing. Gooden in the lane. Good job there by Kings, able to get constant pressure on the basket. They finally get Skumatova going, and she gets her first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, nice finish. Nice job creating some interference at the top as well to get her going downhill.
Trying to get Lattimore a touch, guarded there by Skumatova. The first one's no good. The follow, and it's good.
Nice catch there. I thought Edwards did a nice pass, putting it down her feet, but it came up pretty quick, and Lattimore, nice hands to catch that while holding off the defender.
Good and nice job of dribbling, getting through the double. Finds Skumatova open from the corner, and that one's short. Trying to look to isolate Edwards here on the block. The double stays. Good job by Gooden, able to tie her up. We're going to get a foul call there on Gooden, so we're going to send Edwards to the line.
Yeah, you could see the frustration on the Kings bench there. They had maybe their best possession on Edwards yet on the block touch. They came with the double. They had her pick it up, and she had the outside foot as the pivot foot, so she had to make a long turn to see this other side of the floor. And then unfortunately they reached in and fouled and bailed her out before she had to make that play.
Two for two from the line there for Edwards. Extends this Crestwood lead now to 25-39-14 here. 1 minute to go in the first half. We're going to have Lee driving on Day Wilson. More confusion there on Kings as Lee tried to find Gooden out on the perimeter. It's going to be out of bounds on Kings. Pass was out of reach, so it's going to be Crestwood ball here. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Crestwood gets an inbound, another look for Edwards as she does a great steal on the back. 2 more points here for Aaliyah Edwards. Job Bailey cuts off Lee. Farley gets to the lane. Great job there by Lattimore to challenge the shot. 10 seconds to go though. Stay Wilson, nice hesitation, gets in the lane. Her floater is short. Tipped by Lattimore. Ends up in Edwards' hands, and just like that, 2 more points here for Edwards. And that's how we're going to end the first half. Crestwood extends their lead here, 43-14 at the end of 2. Aaliyah Edwards leads all scorers here with 21 points.
And Edwards, I thought, did a great job early getting herself into position and getting some good shots, but didn't really get into a rhythm till late the first quarter, second quarter. So if you're Kings, you kind of look back and kick yourself a bit that you probably had a chance early on to stay in this thing if you could have matched some offense while they were not in a rhythm. But as time would have it play out, Edwards got herself going, as did the rest of Crestwood. And now the gap's going to be quite the challenge for Kings in the second half. And the reality is you're probably going to find some different strategies and mix it up if you want to get yourself back into this game.
Coming out here to start the second half for Kings, we have Farley, Stupar, Ennis, Cook, and Jegede. Coming out to start here for Crestwood, we have Lattimore, Edwards, Bailey, Drummond, and Day Wilson. A zone look here by Crestwood, little 1-3-1. Kings gets Stupar touching the high post, tries to find Farley on the the right corner. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off Crestwood, 4.7 here on the shot clock.
Good start, though, for Kings. I like the ball gets to two sides of the floor. It gets right to the middle. You get a chance to look high-low, so they get all the options you want. Haven't found a shot out of it yet, but a good possession to start.
And it's up top, got to go quick. Turnover there on Kings and out of bounds, so it's going to go back to Crestwood.
Good ball movement, but never could get anyone by a defender to create an advantage.
Crestwood slings it around. They get Edwards a touch. The double comes. Good pass finds Bailey in the left corner. Her three rattles out. Fight for the rebound. Tipped around. Edwards brings it down. Her fadeaway is good. Great pass finds Stupar on the block. Tied up there by Day Wilson and Drummond, able to finish over Drummond. Stupar, her second basket of the game.
Stupar does a nice job before the catch there as well. Defender got caught the high side of her. She kind of rode her up the lane to create a window and has found that window, put the ball in.
Good defense there by Jegede, able to tip it away from Bailey. Loose ball. She comes up with it. Big challenge by Lattimore, and she's going to block that one out of bounds. Ball remains here with Kings.
Yeah, Jegede does everything right there. Gets her hands on it, dives on the floor to get the loose ball back, gets herself going again. To do over, I think when the ball hit the floor, Jegede makes the effort to get on the floor to get the ball. Probably would have benefited her to kick that head to somebody else who was already on the move, trying to stay ahead of Lattimore, who's chasing the play down.
Ennis, good job getting in the lane around Samuels, and she's going to finish with the floater, her first points of the game.
Yeah, better start here for Kings in this half than the first. Let's see if they can keep some momentum going here on offense.
Edwards, good job sealing off on Jegede. Finishes over the top of Stupar. 2 more points here for Aaliyah Edwards.
Great feel there for Edwards, as you mentioned. Feels the defender on top side. And instead of going to the rim, she just walks her up the lane, uses her strength to create a big window. The ball comes in, and she's all in behind the defense for an easy layup.
That horns look for Kings. They enter it to Stupar. Oh, flex action gets Ennis in the lane. Kick out to Farley. Her long two, just too strong. Jegede comes up with the rebound. She takes it right at the rim and finishes with the layup.
Nice finish there too by Jegede. I mean, much like Edwards in the first half, has a real great rebound and using her hands and touch to tip it to herself. Uses a nice little soft scoop to put up on the glass. Well earned 2 points.
Looks over Cook. Turns that away. 10 on the shot clock now as Crestwood reverses it. They get Lattimore a touch on the block working against Farley. A step through off the up fake. No good. The tip for Edwards. No good. Her second follow. It's going to hit rim, so an inadvertent shot clock buzzer though. We're down to 6 on the shot clock here. Step back. Nope. Great pass. Finds Drummond on the right side of the rim. Too strong. Another offensive rebound for Crestwood. Swing all the way around the horn, and Edwards gets an open look and buries a 3.
I mean, that's really great team basketball. I think everybody touched it. Everybody looked at the basket to keep the defense honest, then moved it for an extra pass till they got a great shot. Edwards on the final play of all that, but everyone in Crestwood was a piece of making that thing happen.
Jegede gets around Reed. Great take to the basket and finishes with the finger roll. Right back the other way. Good job by Crestwood. Jegede gets her hand on it, tips it off of Reed and out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Kings.
Yeah, nice job. It's a tough ask there offensively. Jegede creating some offense, gets herself to the rim. Has to run it down defensively on ball. Cuts her off, gets a hand on it. So it's a lot of running end to end there for Jegede. With positive results both sides of the ball.
Stupar drives against Drummond. Good job to cut off her lane.
Drummond did a nice job there of not letting her turn the corner. Let her drive straight down the side, but nothing ever went toward the basket. Made for a tough angle shot or finish attempt for Stupar.
It's Drummond a touch on the block here. She kicks out Samuels now. Edwards turns the baseline, trying to find Drummond, but Jagade's going to pick off that pass. Here comes Kings with numbers. Kicks over to Ennis, and she finishes in transition.
Nice pass there, Jagade. She takes, actually, I think it's the extra dribble she takes when she crosses half to get it over the three-point line. Defense then has to step up. As the defender steps toward her, then the pass goes to Ennis, who's in behind the defense on the catch.
They swing around, Reed, an open three from the wing, and she buries it.
Again, good ball move for Crestwood. You got to love to watch. Great team play. Acknowledge that they're moving the ball, finding the open shooter.
King swings around Skumatova now. Jagade out to Ennis, a quick release from three, just short. Here comes Dave Wilson, just checked back into the game. Little hesitation to a crossover, gets a great pull up in the lane, no good. Here comes Kings. Ennis right at the defender, going to draw the foul, and she'll go to the line for two.
Dave Wilson does a nice job creating the shot here in transition. Gets the defense kind of backpedaling as she's going full speed. Crossover, gets to the floor, gets in the key. So looked like she could create them a great shot, and you got to give Kings credit for challenging that shot. I mean, you got an athlete like that in transition. She's creating space. Looks like it would be an uncontested, but somehow the Kings gets a hand in there and keeps it from going. So nice job on both ends.
Ennis able to hit both from the line. Coach of Kings is pleading his team for a little more defensive intensity. Crestwood down to 7 on the shot clock here. Wilson calls for the screen. Uzak about to screen the step back way deep, and it's good.
I don't know what the score is in doubt, but I think there's still the feel that Kings was building some momentum and got some things going.
Woo.
Crestwood's trying to end that quickly here.
Great pass, finds Miller in transition. Just too fast, couldn't finish. Lee now right back the other way. Ennis a quick three in transition. That one's too strong. Lattimore quickly ahead of the defense. Cut off by Skumatova, going to get called for the push-off, so it's going to be no basket. Foul there on Lattimore, so it's going to go back over to Kings.
Thought there's a lot of positive there for Lattimore. Obviously, they'll talk about what led to the offensive foul, and they get a chance with her, but at the same time, you got to take the receiving a pass out in transition, gets it up to speed, brought herself back to control T before she was making a decision in there, looked at what her options were, attacked the basket. Thought a lot of positives.
Skumatova driving, tipped away here by Reed, and here comes numbers again for Crestwood. Throws it up top for Lattimore. Great job by Stupar, able to get a hand on it. Crestwood swings around, another deep three by Day Wilson. That one's going to be short. Ennis a three from the corner. That one's too strong. Stupar with the follow. It's blocked from behind. It's going to go back over here to Crestwood. It's going to be Crestwood ball here. 3:21 to go here in the third. They lead this one 56-26 over Kings. And with that, we're going to get a timeout here by Kings Christian.
I think Kings had another level of energy here to come up the second half, which is a nice response when you have the challenges that you face when you're down at halftime. But what they want to be conscious of is they don't want that get away. So I think this timeout now is well timed to try and build on the things you had going here the first 3 or 4 minutes. And at this stage, it may be a little less about what the score output is and more about your team playing better. You get a chance to go against great competition here in Crestwood, push yourself against the other great teams. They are getting some better shots, and I think they just want to keep those things going here. Maybe on the other end, I think Crestwood had maybe a bit of a lull to start for the minute or two, which, again, can be typical when you build yourself up a big halftime lead, but they've responded nicely in the last couple of minutes. So I think both teams right now are probably balancing that out. Never want to give anything here. If you're Crestwood, you want to put the foot down, continue to step on them. If you're Kings, you want to see if you can just fight back and get some quality minutes out of this here in the second half.
With the timeout, they get a touch for Lattimore on the block. It's kicked out here for Reed. Defense by Kings late in the shot clock. A long three by Lattimore is no good. Fight for the rebound is going to be tipped by Crestwood, but corralled by Kings. Here's Lee out ahead in transition, no good. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Lattimore, so it's going to remain with Kings.
Reed does a nice job there. You get out in transition, you get like a 2-on-1 or an advanced situation coming against you. She does a nice job just protecting the rim area. Going to give up a jumper, but not allowed the layup. Forces a miss. Tips the ball around. It does stay with Kings, but does a nice job forcing them to take the ball back out 5-on-5.
Joseph Bernard, a long two. That one's going to be short. It's going to go back over here to Crestwood. Crestwood slings it around. Gooden gets a hand on that one, and here comes Dabrell into the lane, tries to find Lattimore. It's going to be out of bounds on that pass, so it's going to go back over to Kings. Little miscommunication there, as it didn't look like Lattimore was expecting that pass.
Yeah, sometimes your forwards get ready. They know they've fought for the position and behind the defense. I think Lattimore was ready for any kind of shot attempt. She could have cleaned up the miss. When the ball came on a different angle than expected, I think she had to protect herself.
Lee drives against Miller, gets in the lane. Her left hand is no good, but going to draw the foul. She'll head to the line for two.
That gives King a chance also. You get the free throws that you want, but you also get a chance to set up your defense. And after a hot start here, we mentioned a couple times in the third quarter, they've slowed down to get a bit on the offensive side, so maybe some defense that can create some offense and get them going again.
Edwards just checked back into the game to get her a touch here in the high post. Bailey comes off that handoff right into a pull-up. It's going to be short, and here comes Gooden pushing for Kings. Good job, Crestwood, able to cut down that transition look. Lee, though, challenges right at the defender. Edwards picks off her pass for Joseph Bernard. On the other end, we're going to do a good job here by Jagade, able to tip that. Dribble attempt by Edwards away, and it's going to go out of bounds. Crestwood ball here, 21 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Edwards had a nice sense there. Offensive player got stuck in the corner. She took away that passing angle, got a hand on an entry or a kick-out attempt.
Day Wilson's shot blocked there by Jagade. Good job by Kings. It's going to be off of Kings and out of bounds, so it's going to remain here. Crestwood ball, 10 on the shot clock. Lob play here for Lattimore. Gets over the top, gets her hand on it. Kick out Dabrell for three. Just off, though. Great rebound by Lattimore, and her putback is good, plus the foul.
That was a great rebound. I thought she did a real nice job as the ball was on the rim. She had a sense of where it was going and did a better job of like pinning in the defender, creating the space that she wanted to go get it. Then when the ball came down to an area where she could grab it, that's what she released to go get it. So nice job, nice sense of where the ball was going. Nice job blocking in. And then obviously the finish with some contact for Lattimore.
Edwards right there on the miss. Her putback is no good. Again, Crestwood with another offensive rebound chance as Lattimore cleans that one up. Bailey uses the moving screen there by Edwards, so it's going to be her foul. It's going to be her second. Ball back over to Kings here. Good touch for Stupar on the block. Her hook is no good. Lattimore cleans it up. Dave Wilson directing traffic. Gets Edwards a touch on the block. No good. But again, Crestwood all over these offensive boards. Gets a second chance here. Dave Wilson a little up fake. Gets herself in the lane. Double pass out. Dave Burrell. Here's Lattimore up top for three. And it's just off. Stupar right down the lane in transition, and she's able to finish with the left hand. "15 seconds here, Crestwood ball. They lead this one 58-29 over Kings. We're going to get some subs here for Crestwood. Lattimore and Bailey are both going to take a seat. Drummond to Dave Burrell, kick out, a deep three in the corner, too strong. Edwards though with the follow, bodies converge, 4 on the game clock now. A deep pull-up three for Dave Wilson, just too strong. And that will give us the end of the third quarter. Crestwood now leads this one 58-29 over Kings Christian.
And a better quarter, I think, there for Kings than maybe the first half. So they had a little more continuity going on both sides of the ball. Crestwood, I think, had a bit of a lull to start the second half, but had a nice response in the second half of it. So looking forward to the fourth quarter. I think both teams have found a better rhythm now for the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty even quarter, much more intensity we saw both from Kings on and off the court. Finished that third quarter tied 15-15 with Crestwood, so the lead stays the same. We'll see if Kings can come out and match their energy in the third quarter here in the fourth to see if they can start to chip away here, win the second half. Coming out here to start the fourth quarter, it's going to be Crestwood ball. Same players both sides. Edwards kicks over to Drummond. Her hook shot is good over Cook. Crestwood continues to pound it inside. Stupar back the other way. It's going to be tied up there by Drummond. It's going to be jump ball. Staying here with Kings. Steal here by Crestwood as Dabrell pushes. Right down the other way. It's going to be blocked by Stupar. Drummond, though, with the follow. No good. Edwards able to tip that one in.
Good pursuit there by Edwards. Does a nice job staying in the play. Tracks down in transition. It's a little tip, put the ball in.
Great take by Jagade. Gets to her left hand, and she's able to finish at the rim. Dabrell drives baseline. Her floater off the glass is good.
Nice touch there. She does a nice job getting the baseline side. Feels the defender coming. Gets the ball before she can get into the shot challenging area. Soft touch off the glass.
Skumatova driving on Edwards. Going to be tipped away. Ennis now in the corner. We have 7 on the shot clock. Swings it around. A good look for Skumatova. A deep 2, and she's able to hit. First jumper of the game here for Skumatova.
Good ball movement there for Kings. Ennis does a nice job getting baseline side. The right-handed pass across the baseline draws some defenders down low. One more gets Skumatova to the top.
Edwards here on the block. The double comes picked off here by Jagade. She's going to push in transition. Great pass to Ennis, and she's able to finish on the right side. Dave Wilson directing traffic here against the pressure by Kings. Edwards looked like she was looking for Drummond there a bit before she caught that pass. It was going to slip out of her hands. Going to be Kings' ball. Good tip there by Edwards. It's going to be out of bounds here. It's going to go stay here with Kings.
She was on that pass. You could feel Edwards starting to jump them before the ball even left Ennis's hands. Gets a hand on it, almost kept it in alive, and almost ran us over in the process.
It's part of the action, Steve. Jagade working on Samuels up top, going to be fouled there. First foul of the quarter here for Crestwood.
I think Jagade's been tremendous here in the second half for King. She's made a lot happen off the bounce. She's made some things happen in transition. She's getting back on the defensive end, getting her hand on a few things as well, too. I think she's just made a big difference in the effort that Kings has had from the first half to the second. I think it's been noticeable when she's been on or off for Kings as well because of that.
Jagade up top. A little hesitation to a crossover. Gets in the lane. Her layup is no good. Here comes Crestwood. Dave Wilson's pass a little bit errant there, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay here. Switch over to Kings here.
Yeah, pretty uncharacteristic, actually. I wasn't sure that had been tipped or what because it was quite a bit off the mark, which is very unlike Dave Wilson.
Stupar up top, Drummond to guard. Stupar gets in the lane and is able to finish over the defender.
Nice finish, Stupar. I thought Drummond did a nice job defensively. I thought she had a hand in the shot area to make it a tough shot or challenge that space, and Stupar just kept composure and got a nice angle to get the shot out.
Good job, Crestwood swinging around the outside. Dave Wilson gets right inside the foul line. Her pull-up is no good, but Drummond there with the follow.
Dave Wilson had a nice feel on this side. As the ball came out, she did a nice job putting the ball down with her left, so she had the defender run at her, cross it back to get her going across her hips. Big advantage into a nice pull-up.
Crossover by Cook, going to be tied up there by Dabrell. Gets a touch here for Stupar on the block. It's back to her right hand. Going to draw the foul there on Drummond, so she's going to go to the line for 2.
Nice job, Stupar. Felt the one before getting herself to the rim, creating a shot to get the easy 2. Now gets it again and goes able to go back and earn herself to the free throw line.
Crestwood swings around the perimeter. Here's Akabasu driving baseline. Cut off there by Stupar. Little mishandle by Joseph up top. We're down to 11 here on the shot clock. Joseph on Stupar now. A step back three. It's short. Another offensive rebound here for Crestwood, though. Kings gets their hands on it, though. Causes the turnover in here. Stupar. Cook gets it to Jagade, and she gets right around her defender and finishes with the left hand.
She's been great all half. I think she's been awesome. I think this finish on the left hand, the scoop, is a nice touch as well, too. You get some contact, you get your offhand and your scooping underhand. So great finish for Jagade, and what's been a really great second half for her.
Reed unable to hit on the first foul, although with the rebound. 10 on the shot clock here for Crestwood. Challenge up top. Bailey's going to be challenged by Jagade. It's going to be tied up. Foul there on Jagade. It's going to remain here. Crestwood ball. Sorry, it's going to be a foul on Bailey, so it's going to go over to Crestwood.
Yeah, it looked like Jagade got the hand in there first, and then the Crestwood player ran into Jagade. So once you, I don't want to say established possession, but once she broke that play up and made it a loose ball, then Crestwood ran into Jagade and took her off her path.
Jagade up top working on Bailey. Spins, finds Ennis in the corner for three, and she buries the shot.
You know, I'm going to stay on the Jagade train here. I thought she does a nice job getting from the top, but obviously is the second half she's having forced. Crestwood brought a second defender in, so then she finds the pass, and Ennis is the benefactor of that. Open three-point attempt.
We're getting a foul here on Lee as Miller draws that one. It's going to be the first foul here on Kings in the quarter. That's a foul there on Kings guarding the drive, so it will be on Jagade, her third. Crestwood ball again on the sideline. Picked off there by Ennis. Here comes Kings. Great pass, finds Cook streaking down the floor, and she's able to finish for two.
Ennis did a real nice job there. I thought she looked the defense out to the wing, kept possession until the defense started to go where she was looking. Once they split wide, threw a pass straight ahead down the middle.
Ooh. Ennis gets her hand on that pass, picks off, and here she comes in transition, right at the defender. Gonna draw contact, head to the line.
Gonna bait her into that pass too. Ennis did a nice job there the last two possessions getting steals.
Yeah, timeout here by Kings. We're also going to get a full line change for Crestwood. Kings has now cut this lead 66-45 here, 4.5 to go in the fourth. Coming out of the timeout, we're going to have subs on both sides. So for Kings, we're going to have Ennis, Cook, Lee, Stupar, and Jagaday. Coming out for Crestwood, we're going to have Day Wilson, Edwards, Lattimore, Drummond, and Day Burrell. Ennis at the line for 2 shots. Ennis able to hit both. Deep 3 here by Day Wilson and buries it over the defender.
Good shot. Caught the defender with their hands down, not really giving Day Wilson the respect.
Right back the other way, and Lee unable to hit, but Cook flies in for the offensive board. Loose ball is going to be tied up there by Drummond, and Stupar jump ball over to Crestwood.
Too bad Cook couldn't hold on to that one. I thought she made a great effort to track that thing down, go up and get it. Unfortunately, putting the ball on the floor, lost the handle and couldn't corral it.
So it is going to be King's ball here on the jump. Cook driving on that right wing, cut off there by Day Burrell. King swings around, a good look for Jagaday from the corner, no good. Edwards brings down the rebound. A little hesitation at half, gets right by Jagaday, going to put down her head. Good job, Jagaday able to cut off the driving room for Edwards, going to cause the turnover as the ball is going to go back over to Kings. Here's Stupar at top of the key. Jagaday up fake on Edwards, gets by her right to the lane and finishes with the finger roll.
Nice job, Jagaday. I think the shot fake really got that one going. Got Edwards to leave her feet once she had that space, got herself to the rim.
They find Edwards cutting to the rim. Her layup is no good. Another offensive rebound, though. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Kings. Remaining here, Crestwood ball on the baseline.
Crestwood's done a great job on that set, I think, today. They've gotten Edwards the touches that she's wanted at a pretty high clip and in spots that they want.
Open look here by Day Wilson. Steps right in bounds and buries the 3. Little miscommunication looked like by Kings with the zone on the baseline.
Yeah, tough one to lose in space.
Stupar up top, driving against Drummond, gets around her and finishes with her own finger roll.
Stupar's done a nice job this half around the rim, too. Nice touch, nice finish, a couple different angles.
Crestwood swings around up top. Here's Lattimore guarded by Jagaday. Day Wilson wanted the 3. Good defense by Lee to close out. 5 now. The step back at the top of the key. It's short. Kings with the rebound. We're going to foul here on Day Wilson. Going to be her first of the game. It's going to be Teams is now in the bonus, so we will have Lee going to the line for 2. Before those free throws, we're going to get a timeout for the Kings squad as Crestwood leads this one 72-51. 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Lee goes 1 for 2 from the line. Lattimore guarded by Jagade, gets around her, finishes plus the harm.
Nice job by Lattimore. I think uses her length there perfectly. Gets into the body of Jagade. Once she's got the contact there, Jagade can't get off the ground. Lattimore has the length, just goes on top of her for the finish.
Lee gets in the lane, finds Cook open on the wing, and her bank three is good. 20-point lead now. Crestwood, 1.5 to go as Kings is chipped away here in the second half. Jay Wilson directing traffic, brings Edwards up, enters here at the high post, working against Cook, spins back to her left, falling over and finishes.
They've done a nice job here at Crestwood. Again, I think you can tell what they're working on late. They've gone back to the horn set. They've got a couple touches to the high post, and they're just getting a chance to play from those spots, seeing how the defense responds.
And it's up top against Day Wilson, gets in the lane, and her floater's good. Big second half here for Ennis, 15 now in the second half. Miller gets a good look from 3. It's going to be too strong, going to be off of Ennis's leg and out of bounds, so it's going to remain here. Crestwood ball, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Good job, Ennis gets her hands on it. Great pass to Cook in transition, and she's able to finish with the left hand.
Nice steal there again by Ennis, and then the pass ahead. Good hands.
Good job, Reed gets in the lane, unable to go. Another offensive rebound though for Crestwood. Miller is unable to hit. Gooden now brings this one down for King. Swings over a deep 3 for Ennis on the left wing, and it's good! Dom Ennis pouring it in here in the second half. Crestwood here, 8 seconds to go in the game. Working it around the outside. And just like that, we're going to have Crestwood taking this one 77-62 over the visiting Kings Christian Collegiate.
Yeah, I think if you're Kings, you got to look back, and obviously things are different when the score is like it is at halftime, but you got to look at the production you got in the second half, especially from Ennis and Jagade. Wonder if you could have got some of that going early on, if that could have made a difference or held you in a closer game for at least a longer time. But ultimately, it was the offensive woes, I think, for Kings in the first half. Crestwood capitalized on that and built themselves in a lead to hold on.
Leading scorers of the game for Crestwood, we have Aaliyah Edwards here with 32 points, Cheyenne Day Wilson with 14, and Latasha Lattimore with 11. Leading scorers for Kings, we have Dom Ennis with 18, Abigail Jagade with 11, and Taya Stupar with 11. And we'll see you here at the next game of the week this Friday at Bill Crothers.